I like that.
Don't make the black kids angry.
Yeah.
Wow, what a day it's been so far. We started out on the Upper West Side of New York City with this young fella here. He was arrested. He was part of 6 fellas and lovely ladies who were hassling an old white couple on the streets of New York City. A firefighter came by. He said, hey, don't you fellas have something better to do, like go to the library or read some books? They knocked him down, kicked him, stomped him, knocked out 5 of his teeth, put 25 stitches in his head. When they caught the young fella, he said, well, we had to attack that firefighter because we were acting in self-defense. Parentheses, I guess that means that old white couple, was getting ready to attack the young fellas, which happens all the time on the streets of New York. Then we go out to Sacramento, where we meet a 12-year-old young fella, little fella. He's acting suspicious in a grocery store. So the cops come and they try to escort him out to the parking lot to see what's happening. All of a sudden, he starts resisting. All of a sudden, they put handcuffs on him. He's cussing them out, assaulting them. He's spitting at them. He's talking to that female cop in a way that would make Harvey Weinstein blush. And now we go to, well, and we've done videos on both of those stories. So now we go to another center of black mob violence, black criminality, black dysfunction, wildly out of proportion. Well, of course, you must have guessed already that I'm talking about Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Yes, in Canada.
Victim in a playground attack carried out by a group of children is sharing her story tonight. The woman details the assault, what led up to it, and the aftermath. As Saron Fennell explains, despite the bruises and a shaken daughter, she's able to forgive.
An evening stroll through Pleasant Hill Park took a violent turn.
At least 7 that were taking hits on me.
The victim of Monday's attack sharing her story publicly.
I prayed that night for all those kids and I asked God to forgive them.
This video obtained by CTV News captured by a witness. Bonnie Halcrow, seen here, attacked by a group of children, kicked and punched several times, her glasses knocked off. You can see her struggling to fight the kids off while other children stand and watch. The playground attack started after a group of children were allegedly throwing sticks and stones at a man here. That's when Halcrow began recording, and then she became the new target. Halcrow says the man was walking through the park and the group of kids began harassing him.
And I just wanted to prevent it from happening to someone else.
Once the kids noticed her recording, she says they tried to steal her cell phone, swarming her with her 10-year-old daughter standing steps away, only able to watch as her mom was being beaten.
She's been pretty much terrified.
She was on her knees and I didn't know what to do, so I wanted to go help her.
And the feeling of fear mutual.
I could have chose to run, but I don't think my daughter and her friend could outrun those kids, so I just chose to fight.
A crew out in the Pleasant Hood neighborhood following this story today, asking people who live there about the assault and their reaction to what happened. Our reporter Carla Shinkaruk was part of that crew, and she joins us live now in studio. Carla, what did you see while you were out there?
Well, we saw firsthand some of the challenges that neighborhood is facing. Cindy Ulrichsen has lived in the area for 12 years. We were talking with Ulrichsen, who says she's worried about kids vandalizing her property or even harming her, and then this happened.
Let's make a run for it if they start throwing stuff though.
What she said there was make a run for it if they start throwing stuff, and making light of that situation there. But it wasn't a joke. As we were setting up for that interview, kids were on a nearby roof 2 houses away, started throwing rocks. Now we could see them through the trees. You can see them there if you look closely, and we could hear one of the kids say, "Get a slingshot." Ulrichsen then ran inside her house. She called 911 while we waited. We heard 3 rocks whiz past us while we were standing there. Police were quick to arrive on the scene and chase the kids back in the back alley, which borders the park. And police were talking to a few kids in the park afterwards. Ulrichsen says this is not a rare occurrence here.
Everybody knows what's going on around here. And the cops, well, they said, well, we can't charge them. We go and talk to the parents, they give them then the kid is out there 5 minutes later doing exactly the same thing.
Ulrichsen said that the same day that the attack happened on that woman in the park behind her house, she had kids on her roof throwing rocks at her, and she claims one even had a knife that they threw off her roof. And she says she has no plans of moving from that house, though, even though it's just getting warmer. She says she's looking forward to winter, which she thinks will keep those kids inside and cut down on that trouble. Now, Ulrichsen says that the fact that police came quickly is a good sign, but she's not sure if that will help in the long run because she doesn't feel that these kids are accountable to anyone.
I got a kick out of that reporter on the second story. She's going into a neighborhood where we already know that large-scale black mob violence has terrorized the neighborhood for a very long time. And she called that a challenge.
Please, sir, I want some more.
What?
Please, sir, I want some more.
That's a very dangerous situation. The challenge is, how to make your roses grow in May and, when you're up near the Arctic Circle. So the Canadian reporters are taking after their brothers from another mother to the south by being in denial, deceit, and delusion about exactly what they're seeing. My guess is they're going to have a lot more practice in the future. My guess, the number one item they're going to have to practice is not making the black kids angry.